You are sitting on the edge of a narrow bed on the 33rd floor of the New Yorker Hotel. The year is 1943, and the world outside is in flames, consumed by a war fought with machines that were born in your head decades ago. But in here, the only sound is the soft cooing of pigeons fluttering in through the open window, bringing the freezing cold of January into room 3327. You are trembling, not just from the advanced age of 86 or the skeletal thinness that makes your clothes seem too big, but because you know the end has arrived. You look at your hands, hands that designed the future, hands that tamed lightning, hands that ripped up multi-million-dollar contracts. And you realize they are empty. You invented the 20th century, Nikola, but you will die penniless, feeding birds as if they are the only living things left to hear you. The irony is electric. You illuminated the entire earth, but your life ends in the most complete darkness. Your story begins with an omen, or perhaps a curse, in the village of Smiljan, on the military frontier of the Austrian Empire. They say that on the night you were born, in July 1856, a lightning storm tore through the sky with apocalyptic violence. The midwife, crossing herself in fear of the thunder that made the windows shake, told your mother that you would be a child of darkness. But your mother, Juka, exhausted and sweaty, looked at the small being in her arms and corrected her. No, he will be a child of light. You grew up hearing that story, and it became the burden you carried even before understanding what electricity was. The world around you is rural, smelling of wet hay and turned up soil. But your mind dwells elsewhere. From a very early age, you realize you are not like the other boys. While they play soldiers, you stroke the family cat, Makak, and see blue sparks crackle beneath your fingers when the animal's fur rubs against your skin. Your father explains that it is the same force as the lightning in the sky, and in that moment, a door opens in your childish mind. Nature is a giant machine waiting to be plugged in, but genius exacts its first toll too early. You are only 5 years old when horror invades your home. Your older brother, Dane, the prodigy, the favorite, the light of your parents' eyes, dies in a brutal accident involving a horse. You are there, you see the blood, hear the beast scream, smell the metallic scent of death. Guilt, irrational and corrosive, settles in your chest. Your parents look at you, and in their eyes, you see the reflection of the one who should have died. To compensate for this existential failing, you decide that you must be more than human. You begin to develop an iron, almost masochistic discipline. But then, the flashes start. Blinding lights invade your vision, accompanied by perfect three-dimensional visions. They are not common hallucinations. They are schematics. You can build entire turbines in your head, run them, test the wear of the parts, disassemble them, and correct them, all without touching a pencil. It is a divine gift, yet terrifying. You live in fear that your mind will break before you manage to get it all out. Cholera knocks you down in adolescence. You are on your deathbed, pale, skin clinging to your bones, the smell of medicine and burning candles saturating the stuffy room. The doctors give up. Your father, a severe Orthodox priest who had planned the priesthood for you, enters the room weeping. In a thread of a voice, you bargain with fate. If I survive, will you let me study engineering? Desperation makes him agree, and against all medical odds, the promise of engineering pulls you back from the abyss. You recover, devour books, learn languages, memorize logarithmic tables. Europe becomes too small for your ambition. You pass through Graz, Prague, Budapest. It is in a park in Budapest, reciting Goethe's Faust while watching the sunset, that the idea hits you like a physical punch. The rotating magnetic field, alternating current. You draw the diagram in the dirt with a stick, dusting your knees, euphoric. There, in the dirty earth, lies the key to electrifying the world. You know you must go where the future is being built. You embark for America in 1884. The voyage is a nightmare. You lose your luggage, your money is stolen, and you are nearly thrown overboard during a mutiny. You disembark in New York with 4 cents in your pocket, a few poems, and a letter of recommendation. You look at the skyscrapers and feel the city's pulse. You believe you have found your home, unaware that you are walking directly into the lion's den, where your greatest idol will become the architect of your ruin. New York assaults you with smells and noise, coal, horse manure, the cries of vendors, the clatter of streetcars. You go straight to Thomas Edison's office. The meeting is a clash of worlds. You, the elegant, cultured European, obsessively hygienic, talking about theoretical mathematics and poetry. He, the pragmatic American, who chews tobacco and despises theories, believing only in trial and error. You hand him Charles Batchelor's letter. I know two great men. One is you, the other is this young man. Edison hires you, but the contempt is palpable. He sees you as a poet of science, not a real engineer. You work 18 hours a day, solving problems his team cannot even understand. You improve his generators, redesign his inefficient motors. Edison, in a casual promise, offers you $50,000 if you can accomplish an impossible task. You take it seriously. To you, your word is a sacred contract. You work feverishly, sleep on the laboratory floor, eat cold sandwiches with your hands dirty with grease. When you deliver the work, perfect and functional, and ask for payment, Edison laughs in your face. Tesla, you don't understand our American humor. The sentence echoes in your head as you walk through the cold streets of New York, disgraced and defeated. The genius of electricity now digs ditches to survive. Your shoulders ache, your delicate hands bleed gripping the shovel handle, the sweat freezing on your back. You share your lunch with illiterate laborers, while your mind designs the motors that could liberate them from that back-breaking work. This is rock bottom, the bitter taste of capitalist reality that you can never truly swallow. But destiny spins again. Investors hear your name. George Westinghouse, a man who sees what Edison refuses to acknowledge, buys your alternating current patents. The war of the currents begins. It is a dirty battle. Edison publicly electrocutes animals, dogs, cats, even an elephant, to prove his current is dangerous. He invents the electric chair solely to link your name to death. You respond using your own body. In theatrical demonstrations, you allow hundreds of thousands of volts to course through your body, holding lamps that illuminate in your hand, transforming yourself into a living statue of light. The audience holds its breath, smelling the ozone that emanates from you, watching the electric aura crown your head. You are no longer a man, you are a sorcerer. Victory arrives at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. When the president flips the switch, hundreds of thousands of Westinghouse bulbs illuminate simultaneously. It is the first time in history that darkness has been defeated on such a scale. The crowd weeps, cheers, faints. It is pure beauty, the Tesla light. You walk among the pavilions like a modern god. Next, Niagara Falls. The roar of the water transforms into the roar of electricity, traveling all the way to Buffalo. The world is yours, but the victory comes with a devastating financial price tag. Westinghouse is going broke under the weight of the royalties he owes you. The contract stipulates that you must be paid for every single horsepower generated. It amounts to millions. Westinghouse implores you, saying that if he pays, the company will collapse, and alternating current will die with it. You look at the contract. You look at the man who believed in you, and in a gesture that no banker or entrepreneur would ever understand, you rip up the paper. You tear up the contract that would have made you the world's first billionaire. The sound of the paper tearing is the sound of your financial future evaporating. You choose legacy over profit, humanity over comfort. You feel noble, certain you did the right thing. You don't know that from that moment on, every one of your inventions will have to be begged for. Every project will be a humiliating scramble for funds, and that poverty will be your faithful companion until your last breath, while others build empires on the foundations you willingly gave away. The turn of the century finds you obsessed. The success at Niagara is not enough. You want more. You want to broadcast wireless power for free to the entire planet. The Earth, to you, is a giant conductor, and you want to make it resonate. You move to Colorado Springs. The air is thin, the mountains are silent. There, you build a monstrosity of coils and towers. During the nightly thunderstorms, you tune your equipment to the lightning strikes. The discharges you create are so powerful that the thunder is heard for miles. Butterflies become electrified and glow in the dark, and horses receive shocks through their metal shoes. The locals think you are insane. And maybe you are. One night, your receiver picks up rhythmic signals. 1, 2, 3. You freeze. It isn't static. It's intelligent. You announce to the world that you have heard Mars. The press ridicules you. The visionary has become a laughingstock. But you don't care. Your mind is already on the next step. Wardenclyffe, the gigantic tower on Long Island. You convince J.P. Morgan, the most powerful man in capitalism, to invest. But you lie to him. You tell him it's for radio. But your goal is global free energy. The tower goes up, a strange wooden structure topped with a copper dome, looking like an alien mushroom. You spend everything. You hire the best, buy the most expensive materials, dine at the Waldorf Astoria. But then, Guglielmo Marconi transmits the letter S across the Atlantic. Marconi used 17 of your patents, but nobody cares. The world hails Marconi. J.P. Morgan asks, if anyone can pick up this energy, where do I put the meter? When he realizes your plan is to give away energy for free, the faucet shuts off. The money dries up. You beg. You write humiliating letters to Morgan, stained with tears and despair, which he doesn't even deign to answer. The Wardenclyffe Tower stands there, unfinished, rust streaking down the wood, a monument to your arrogance and ingenuity. Creditors are knocking at the door. The tower is dynamited and sold as scrap to pay off hotel debts. Watching your tower fall is like seeing a child executed. Something breaks inside of you. The real world becomes unbearable, so you retreat inside your own mind and into the small rituals that bring order to chaos. You develop an aversion to pearls. You can't touch hair, and the volume of your food must be divisible by 3. You wipe your silverware with 18 napkins. People avoid you on the street, the mad scientist who talks to himself. You move from hotel to hotel, always leaving unpaid bills behind, always ending up in cheaper rooms. Your only true company now is the pigeons. You walk to Bryant Park and the public library every day. You feed them, care for the injured ones in your hotel room, smuggling them inside your coats. Among all of them, there is a white dove with a gray tips on its wings. The love you feel for this bird is the purest and saddest thing in your life. You tell the few remaining friends that you love her the way a man loves a woman. When she falls ill, you go days without sleep. One night, she flies into your room through the open window, lands on the desk, and you know she has come to say goodbye. You swear you see an intense light pour from her eyes, brighter than any lamp you ever created. When she dies in your arms, the weight of the tiny body is unbearable. You feel, with a cold scientific certainty, that your work is finished. The purpose of your life has gone out along with that small bird heart. Now, only the Hotel New Yorker remains. The year is 1943. You are a living relic, visited occasionally by reporters looking for sensational headlines about death rays or communicating with aliens. You give them what they want, speaking of superweapons that could end all wars. But deep down, you know no one takes you seriously anymore. Your body is failing. A taxi accident years ago broke your ribs, and you never fully recovered, refusing doctors. The pain is your old friend. You live on warm milk and crackers, your body consuming itself. The Yugoslav government pays your pension, which keeps you from being evicted, but the solitude is absolute. There is no wife, no children, no disciples, only the memories of a future you saw, but which the world has not yet reached. On the night of January 7th, the cold is intense. You feel a sharp pang in your chest. You try to stand up to get water, but your legs won't obey. You fall back into bed. The room is silent, except for the distant hum of the electric city outside. Your city. Every light shining in New York, every motor spinning in the factories, every radio playing the war news, everything functions using the blood of your mind. They use your gift, but they have forgotten the giver. you hang the Do Not Disturb sign on the doorknob. It is your final act of defiance, or perhaps of protection. You close your eyes, and the visions return one last time, not of machines, but of Smiljan, of the cat Makak, of the voice of your mother calling you the child of light. 2 days later, a maid ignores the sign on the door and enters. She finds you rigid in the bed, impeccably dressed, your socks pulled up high, your face serene. The FBI arrives quickly. Agents scour your room, open the safe, confiscate your papers, your diaries, your blueprints for the death ray. The fear of what you knew is greater than the respect for what you were. They take everything, leaving only the hollow body of a man who gave everything and kept nothing for himself. The world will continue spinning, accelerating, connecting through invisible technologies that you predicted when everyone called you crazy. Decades later, your name will be redeemed. Electric cars will carry your name. The unit of magnetic flux density will be the Tesla. You will become a pop icon, the patron saint of geeks and visionaries. But now, in this cold and gray room, as the maid screams upon realizing you are not sleeping, the only truth is silence. You died as you lived, surrounded by invisible crowds, yet untouchable in your solitude. As you float away from the pain and hunger, the question remains, echoing through the decades, is genius a blessing or a parasite that consumes its host? You illuminated the world, Nikola, but the price was burning yourself down to ashes. Looking back at the torn contracts and the unlived loves, at the stolen glory and the solitary death, would you have done anything differently? Or is it that, for someone who sees the mechanism of the universe, human happiness is just too small a piece to care about? The world shines with your light today, but no one was there to hold your hand when your own light went out. You lived this life, but there is another waiting for you, another choice, another destiny, another truth no one told you. The next life is right next door. Can you endure it? If this life left a mark on you, leave a like. Share so that others may live what you have just felt. And subscribe, because every week you become someone else. History doesn't wait. Will you?